Hey everyone, this is Stephen Strawn at Cast Iron Cookware, where you can find information to help you better collect, restore, and use cast iron cookware. Today we're going to be talking about Birmingham Stove and Range chicken fryers, and we got a little bit of twist involved in it as well. So we're going to be doing that coming right up. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's purchased my product, Easy Beezy Cast Iron Seasoning. The purchase of this product helps keep this channel going, and I just want to say thank you so very much. Now let's get on into our video. Now, Birmingham Stove and Range is one of my favorite makers. Probably first of all because I live in Alabama, and Birmingham Stove and Range had the factory about 60 miles south of where I live. That was the reason why I started collecting BSR to begin with, because I thought it would be a little less expensive. But I fell in love with BSR, and a lot of people in the United States has fell in love with it as well. And here is a Red Mountain chicken fryer. Now this needs to be restored, but it is a big pan. And unlike the skillets, the chicken fryers do not have a heat ring. They're all smooth bottom like their Dutch ovens. No heat ring at all, smooth bottom. Now there is a whole line of smooth bottom skillets that look like Birmingham Stove and Range. The jury is still out on those. Me personally, I believe they are Birmingham Stove and Range, but there's no proof. And without proof, you can just say my opinion. So that's my opinion, and others disagree completely. But the chicken fryers are smooth bottom, and a chicken fryer is a kind of a combination between a Dutch oven and a skillet. It's a deep skillet made for frying chicken, or deep frying chicken, pork chops, whatever you want to deep fry. One thing I love about Birmingham Stove and Range, their skillet covers, Dutch oven covers, and chicken fryer covers all have pour spout covers on both sides. So the lids for one will work for all three as long as you have the right piece. Now there are a few size differences that happen from the Red Mountain, even up in some cases, even in the Century series, where the sizes change by a few fractions of an inch. And a smaller lid will fit, but it'll be a little bit loose. It won't fit quite as tight. A larger lid won't fit at all. So here we go. We have Red Mountain series. We have the large dimples in the covers. This one here is a really older Red Mountain series. And if you notice, the dimples are random. They're just kind of spaced out every which way, and they're quite large. Here's another version also of the Red Mountain series, and they're spaced out randomly and quite large. This one has a special divided handle. So the covers did take on a little bit of an evolution during the whole process. That was a split, and this is the regular loop handle. And in the Century, we have a loop handle with a smaller end on one side. And we also have this little lump right here. And another thing that changed with the Century series is we have the descriptive sizing in the center. Also, we have smaller dimples, and they're not random anymore. If you notice, they radiate from the center out in a really uniform pattern as compared to the Red Mountain. I think one reason why the evolution of the handles went the way they did is the split handles were probably a little more aggravating to actually attach and maybe keep from breaking. You know, later on they started with this piece right here, this style. This is still early. And then in the Century, we have the little hump right here. It was probably easier to attach. I'm not sure the process, but we see the evolution of everything kind of going to easier, less people involved, less likely to break. One reason is why the larger pour spouts got smaller, maybe because it's less breakage involved. We'll see the rims get a little bit thicker. The older Red Mountains are a lot thinner, a lot lighter, and probably had a little more breakage because they were handling it, you know, by hand a lot of times. Once they got into the automation and the Distomatic machines, everything was done by machine. I imagine the breakage went way up. And because of that, they had to evolve somewhat. So, go back to our first chicken fryer. Now, you can't see a number on this one right here because it's still caked up pretty good. But this is a number 8 Red Mountain. It's kind of older. If you notice, we have the teardrop hanger hole and the dominant ridge. This is for the standard skillets and the chicken fryer that you will have this commonality. Here we go. The first one we've seen a number 8, pretty straightforward. Fairly large pour spouts. This is another earlier Red Mountain right here. If you notice the big 8D, and it looks a little hand scribed, but they've still done a really neat job on it. Really big pour spouts here. Also the common ridge and teardrop hanger hole. Nice piece. Okay, this one's a little rusty, but here's a Dutch oven with the size markings. The more descriptive in the Century series. This is later in the Century series because it has the Made in USA. And also notice with the Birmingham Stove and Range, you have a pour spout on one side of the Dutch oven and a tab on the other. But the skillet covers work the same. Okay, like I told you earlier, there was going to be a twist. And this is the twist. Now check this out. This is a Birmingham Stove and Range chicken fryer. It is later in the Red Mountain era because we have the smaller pour spouts. Probably even a little bit into the Century. I believe they used a lot of the molds from the Red Mountain series. Even while the Century series was going, there was an automation that took place late in the Red Mountain before the Century series really took off. So you have automation, things were speeding up, things were picking up. I think a lot of the descriptive writing that you see on the Centuries, you don't see on some of those in that transition period. Like this here, 8B, the size number 8, and from a B pattern. This is probably from the automated era, but not the Decimatic era. Or maybe they were running at the same time. But here is the twist. Check out the bottom of this handle. This is a groove. Very similar to what you'd see on the grooved Griswold handle. Here's a comparison. We have the one that has the groove and the other that has the dominant ridge. For many, many years, this groove was considered to be non-BSR. A lot of speculation saying it was from the Crane Company. For what I understand, the Crane Foundry had a little bit of a connection with Birmingham Stove and Range. I believe the Crane Foundry had a connection with Birmingham Stove and Range, not so much to make pieces for Birmingham Stove and Range, but to do the enameling for Birmingham Stove and Range. I have seen some boxes that says Crane Foundry that has Birmingham Stove and Range enamel pieces in them. So I think Crane done some enameling for Birmingham Stove and Range, but did not make any cast iron pieces. But in one of the Facebook groups, it has been brought out that there is a box with a grooved piece, Birmingham Stove and Range box, showing the piece, showing the size, showing the other pieces with it, and there was a grooved handle. So there's been proof that Birmingham Stove and Range did the grooved handles. I wished I knew that before I sold my little stew pot that was like that. I'd like to have that thing back, but somebody's enjoying it. And mainly I just wanted people to know about the grooved handle pieces. They have been proven to be Birmingham Stove and Range. And I did want to share a little bit about the lids and how they interchange. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I promise to keep more coming. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching Cast Iron Cookware. Before you go, I would like to share something with you really quickly. In 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6 and 7, it says, "Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of God which is in thee by the laying on of my hands. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." I just want to say, share the word and be a blessing. you.